So today's video I want to work on the exhaust a bit, and today you get to see where those mufflers go on the machine. So the right side here, it's suspended by some wires, and I'm just kind of mocking up its position. But I was a little concerned that maybe the suspension might interfere with the location of where I wanted that muffler. So I just did a mock up here, and the right side suspension is hanging off my cherry picker here. And turns out I got plenty of room there, and I'll show you where I'm talking about. Right in that corner there, I was kind of looking at that. Well, maybe that AR might bump up underneath that muffler there, but doesn't seem to be a problem. Well, the headers on this car used to exit underneath the vehicle, and it created quite a bit of fumes for the driver. So this is the fix, make the headers dump outside the vehicle like that. And I built these headers from a weld-up kit, and I used pretty well everything except for, I think I made my own flange, like at the top. And I also used a different collector. And so what I did to make these is I fixed the collector to the vehicle temporarily exactly where I wanted it. And then the rest of it I started fitting together. So that's the strategy here. I'm mounting the muffler first, and the engine is of course already in, and then I've got the exhaust started at the engine side, and then I'm just going to start joining pieces together and fit it together like a puzzle. Alright, well, I'm starting to cut up some of the mandrel bends here, and so I can cut all kinds of little pieces out. Sometimes my pieces will get a lot shorter, like maybe only a little piece of a corner or whatever, and by fitting the stuff together you can route the exhaust to basically wherever you want. Let's say, you know, I want something that, let's say I want something that looks like this, and then maybe I want this one over here. See, and I can turn it too. So let's say I want to bring it this way, or see, there's all kinds of shapes. You can route that exhaust. You make it go wherever you want to, you know. So I'm rummaging around in this box, and look what I found. So I got a couple of these. These are pipe hangers for a CR500, and I think they're going to be nice and sturdy and work really well for this project. So I'm thinking something about like this. See? Could bolt it on there, and then I could whip up a mount on the frame. See, and then I'd have a kind of a nifty rubber mount set up there. So I want to cut this piece of tubing off fairly short here by this mark. And I think I'm going to have to freehand it with my Makita grinder with a cutting disc on it. So if you guys ever wonder how to make a straight mark around a piece of tubing, just use a piece of paper and line it up nice. And then I can slide that to where my mark is, and then I'll just mark all the way around, and then it'll be a straight cut if I stay on the line at least. And it's cut pretty short now. You can see how much or how little of that I'm actually going to be using. So, and it heads off through the frame right there. So I took some flat and put it in the vise, gave it a bit of a tweak, drilled a hole and rounded off the end. And so it's going to be part of the exhaust mount bracket here. And the little cardboard pieces, I have to cut those out of steel yet. So that's what I'm working on now. I think I'm going to make that bracket first, and then I'm going to start working on the tubing for the exhaust. So after I make a cut with a chop saw, I like to get in here with a file and just clean up that cut. Oh, that's a lot better. And then I'll also clean up these sides. I'll take that flashing off of there too. And then this little piece here that I just had at the bench vise, I had planned to put that one right in over here. See, and then I can turn that wherever I want to and position it, and once I got it right where I want, then I'll just spot weld it, you know, at the joint, and then I can continue from there, and I'll just keep putting the pieces together and make the puzzle come together. So the muffler's got a little bit of cushion in it from that rubber mount. Remember, I was using that CR500 pipe hanger, and you can see it right there. And you can see also how that bracket turned out. Pretty simple design, really. So these flanges, when I welded them on there, well, like all of this welding I did off the machine. You know, I just tacked it all together piece by piece, and then I took it off the machine to finish it, you know. But these flanges, I didn't want them to warp on me as I would weld them onto the tubing. So what I would do is I would take an extra couple of flanges and I would just stack them, you know, in behind, and I would bolt them all together, so that extra stack, you know, would help to keep that flange from warping on me. So a shot from the bottom of the machine. This is the factory header, and you guys remember I cut that header off, and then I welded the flanges on. Then it's ready to accept the exhaust system that I'm putting together for it now. So here's a shot from the engine bay looking down, and then you can see that header down in there and the two flanges. You can kind of see how that starts to wrap around inside there. So anyways, that's a start. Got half the exhaust system done, and left side to do yet. But anyways guys, thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you again.